Participants. Well, hi, Bev. Oh, put your real face back up there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good, because I always have to unplug my camera and stuff and plug it back in, or it doesn't hook.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we're good.
I've been having trouble with my internet this morning. Sheesh. So I hope it stays on while we're meeting. If it doesn't, I'll tell you so you can tell everybody else that I'll just have to log on and rejoin.
Okay.
Good morning, Christine.
Good morning, Harry. Nice to see you here from sunny Eastern Oregon. Well, I guess you're Central Oregon, aren't you?
Central Oregon, yeah.
And Janet, tell me again where you're from.
I'm from Rotary Club of Ashland.
Oh, Ashland. Okay. You would think I would remember everybody by now, but
No, I wouldn't.
probably going to get worse before it gets better. Okay. Carrie's coming in. Michael's coming in. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Carrie.
How are you today?
I am pretty darn good. It's not raining. It's actually sunny. So that's a good day in the Willamette Valley.
Yeah, well, it's cloudy here.
On the
So-
coast, huh? Yeah.
I don't know how much I'm going to be able to participate. I got a worker coming here, but I thought I'd check in and say hello at least.
Okay, make sure we're not talking about you.
Yeah, you can talk about me all you want. I got broad shoulders and I let the reins slide off the back.
Just okay. Hi, Jim. Welcome back.
Hey, let's create some hope in the world.
That's
Hi, Jim.
right. That's the new what is it called? A
Theme.
theme. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. So
It was an interesting time with about 1,500 of my new friends and acquaintances.
You want to watch it?
while we're all getting here, why don't you give us a brief review and tell us if you had fun on your travel back, because Jim was in Florida right about the time the airlines were going bonkers.
Well,
Right.
actually, that had absolutely no impact. That was that happened on Wednesday or Thursday.
Uh-huh.
And when I got to the airport Friday morning at 7 a.m. and got through TSA in about 15 seconds, got to my gate, absolutely no impact visible.
Yay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It going down was a very long, about 40 hours. Got up Saturday morning, did the red eye to Orlando, stayed up all day through the reception Sunday night, and still didn't sleep worth a darn.
Gosh. And then we have Blue Denim at the end of this week.
Blue Denim this weekend, yes.
And then I have pets training next week. Then I'm home for a minute.
Only the most deserving, Chris. Only the most deserving people get to have schedules like that.
I suppose. Let's see. Oh, Jill's coming. Bruce Allen is the AG, Benton County. Pretty good. Heard you're doing a great job too, Bruce.
Well, thank you. It's all for
Okay.
great leadership.
Amy's
Yeah, I'm
doing a great job.
I'm excited with everything Joe's got on the burner.
Yeah.
Come here. Come here. Well, come here. She's dog's looking at me, wants in, but won't come in. It's like, no, I don't want to get stuck in a meeting. Oh, here comes Joe. We got to quit talking about him now. Geez, who's left? I'm gonna wait until about 3 minutes after before I start. Christine, Susan Levine is a fellow Rotarian. I was gonna ask, Suzanne, welcome. You can unmute yourself and we'd love to see your real face.
Hi, well, I just finished working out, so I'm not sharing my sweaty countenance today, sorry.
Oh, chicken.
It was sort of interesting listening to.
What's Jim holding up? You know, that's flashing in and out, Jim. Can't really read it, what you got.
Where's Jim? Let's see. Oh, that's the new logo, the new theme.
Okay.
There's so much going on these days. We've got our new RI president getting ready to come in a few months. And so about this time of year, they choose the theme going into next year. And it's Be the Hope. What is it, Jim? Unmute yourself. Otherwise, you're just a flapping mouth.
Create hope in the world.
Create hope in the world. That's what we're here to do through Rotary.
If you
Through
go onto
members.
rotary.org, Gordon's speech that he gave to announce his theme is up on the homepage of rotary.org, and you can hear
Oh,
the
good.
story of why that theme was chosen.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And his passion is mental health, right?
Yeah,
Which is something that a lot of members and a lot of clubs have talked about. You know, we've got projects on everything else, but we don't have, I don't know if anybody has a project. Probably somebody does, but
He shared the story of why mental health is so important to him. His older brother committed suicide.
oh, well, ugh.
Very emotional speech, let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. I mean, I can't imagine. Okay, well, I'm going to get this rolling. Welcome, everybody. Let's go around and have everybody self-introduce. I was going to say self-introduce themselves. Is that redundant? And tell us what club you're with, what your position is in the club, and if you've got any district position like some of you do. Tell us that too. So I'm going to try to go in order if I can keep track. Jerry Kasanovic.
Hey, good morning, all. Jerry Kasanovic, a member of the Rotary Club of Greater Corvallis, and I'm your past district governor.
That's right, you are. And Jim
Past.
Polk.
That's the operative word there, past.
I'm Jim Polk. I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Illinois Valley in Cave Junction. I have the privilege of serving as your district governor-elect.
Yes, you do, and I appreciate that. I'm learning a lot from you already. Harry.
Harry Hamilton, Sun River Lapine Rotary Club, and I'm the membership chair. Have been for a couple of years. They keep
Yes.
sticking me with this.
Joe Vincent.
well, good morning, Chris. My mental health is vastly improved by 3 or 4 cups of coffee. Joe Vincent, member of the Rotary Club of Greater Albany, chair of the International Service Committee, assistant governor for Lynn County, and executive assistant governor-elect.
Yeah. And he's going to put a lot of organizational skills to use with our assistant governors, our AGs. So you might see more of them. Bev Walker.
Hi, from the Road Gateway Rotary Club, and I am the engagement chair, membership, fellowship, chairperson, and on the board this year.
Good job. Thanks, everybody, for all your work. Dana, is it Roday? Dana, are you there? She's trying to unmute. I think you're unmuted. Go ahead and talk. We'll see. She's here, she says, but her computer's being feisty, I think. Janet,
Hi, I'm Janet Troy, and I'm the president-elect of the Rotary Club of Ashland.
thank you for coming. John Scarborough,
And I'm
Correct.
president of Ashland Rotary Club.
and full of good ideas.
Sorry
Um,
about that. I didn't get that list together that you wanted, but I did work on it and I'll have it to you probably this week, at the end of the week.
I don't even remember what it was, John. I've
Good.
got so many irons in the fire. If you wouldn't have admitted it, you would have been scot-free. But now I want that list.
Okay.
Let's see. All these names are jumping around. Michael Hewitt.
Yeah, welcome. I'm Mike Hewitt, Port Orford Rotary Club, and I'm immediate past president, past AG, incoming AG. And, welcome to everybody.
Okay, now I'm going to circle back to Dana because I can see your top half of your face. So maybe your sound will work. And maybe not. We'll try Jill.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Jill Tompkins. I'm with Jacksonville Applegate Rotary and past president, currently membership chair and on the board.
Thanks for being here. Always nice to see your smiling face. Let's see. Carrie.
Hi, good morning. I'm Carrie Hansen, and I'm with the Central Point Rotary Club here in Southern Oregon, and I'm president-elect for next year.
Huh. And Jerry.
Hi, I'm Jerry Herbage, and I'm the president for the Gold Beach Club. Thank you.
Nice. Nice to have people from all over our district. Nancy Allen.
Hi, good morning. I'm Nancy Allen, and I am with the Ashland Rotary Club. I'm the membership chair and on the board.
Good deal. Bruce Allen.
Hi, my name is Bruce Allen. I am from Greater Albany and past president there, as well as current AG for Benton County. And even though I have no relation to Nancy Allen, I love her office backdrop. So mine is a lot of plants because I'm married to someone who likes a lot of plants. But anyway.
Well, it oxygenates the air. That's a good thing, or does something good.
Well,
anyway.
let's hope. Makes you smarter.
Suzanne. You have to unmute yourself. Maybe she went to wash her hair or something. She said she just got done working out. Dana, do you have your sound on yet?
Yeah, now do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm Dana Roday from the Rotary Club of Florence. And I'm on several committees and I'm just interested in finding out more about membership.
Good deal. Well, as soon as I took over the membership, I'm Chris Waugh. I'm with Southtown Rotary in Eugene, was president in 2021, the COVID year. I joined Rotary originally in Newport in 1988, was president there in 92, 93. I've always thought the membership is the most important committee, and that wasn't just because I was the membership chair in both of my clubs, but it was because without membership, what are we? We don't have programs, we don't have meetings, we don't have anything. So I'm glad to see your interest in membership. And today's topic is particularly interesting to me because how do we make people feel a sense of belonging? Part of Rotary's discussion in the past has been that revolving door syndrome. We do a pretty good job getting new members in the door, but we don't do a very good job keeping them in the door. And I have to think that the reason they leave, no matter what they tell you, unless they died or moved, the reason they left is they didn't feel a sense of belonging. And there's a lot of things that we can look at when we're thinking about a sense of belonging. Some of them are very controversial. We'll touch on those today. Some of them are kind of controversial, but they're they're not as deep and meaningful, like whether your club has hugging fests at the beginning of the meeting. So in the looking through the lens of the four-way test, let's you can hum along, sing back up to me while I read it. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? All concerned. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Okay, that's the four-way test. That's the lens we need to look at this and everything through for membership, for club administration, for our projects, whatever we want to do. So DAC-DB already tracks sex and age. And so when we're thinking diversity, is that all there is? That was not a rhetorical question. You can nod. Is sex and age the only thing that we need to worry about or think about as we move Rotary, as we as leaders move Rotary into a successful future? I think there's more, but let's start with something easy. I want to talk about introverts and extroverts. We had a meeting on that maybe 6 months ago, and I had 3 introverts come and present their struggles with our clubs. You know, some of them hate those hug fests that we have, some of our clubs have at the beginning of the meetings. They feel very uncomfortable and they don't feel a sense of belonging. So how do we, I'm going to mute you, Harry, because you're competing. How do we make them feel comfortable or allow them wiggle room without feeling excluded? John, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, one of them is to know people's names. And one of the advantages that we have with the mobile app for DAC-DB is it's really easy to look up someone's name, verify that that is the person that you're looking at across the table, and then you can address them by their name. Not just once, but to do it consistently. Related to that, we have a branch of Les Schwab Tires down here. I've always admired their work, not only here, but also other towns. They have a requirement for all of their job applicants. You cannot get a job there if you cannot remember the faces of all of their customers. It's amazing. You know, it'd be great if they said that just about the employees. They have a lot of employees, but it's all of the customers. And wow, that's how I feel when I walk into that place. I know them, they know me. It's great to be greeted by my name. And it's not a vanity thing. It's just a desire to belong.
That's awesome. Good point. I remember going on a cruise one time and the purser or whatever the dude is, the maitre d' at the restaurant, knew every passenger's name, and it just blew us away because every week you had to learn a whole new set of passengers, and there were like 2,000 people on that ship.
Whoa.
But it made us all feel like they knew us by name. It was that's a good point. But introverts and extroverts is one thing I wanted just to have you think about. It's kind of a sticking our toe in the water of making people feel belonging. What about race? What do we do with, you know, some clubs I've heard, well, we've got a Black guy or we've got a gay person. That's not race, but you know what I'm saying? We've got our token different, maybe an alter-abled person. We've got our token, so we can check that off that we are diversified. And more would come if we made them feel that sense of belonging, don't you think? We have to give them that sense of belonging. So whether they're LGBTQIA, that acronym keeps getting longer because we're finding out more about what people really feel like. And no matter what they feel like, having a sense of belonging in our club is really important if we want to grow our club. And I don't think we need to grow our club just for the sake of growing Rotary. I think we need to grow our clubs for the sake of service. We can serve more if we make more people feel belonging. I know when I went to Rarotonga for a vacation, and I noticed Rotary was right across the street. So I went to a Rotary meeting and they said, well, what are you doing here? Oh, and they were looking at my husband because I brought him and say, hi, sir, what club are you from? And Bruce said, no, it's my wife that's a member. What are you doing here? And I said, well, I'm going to be president next year. And they were like, we don't allow women. Well, I had a sense of belonging despite them. And it turned out that their program canceled and they had me be their program. So I took the opportunity to talk about the benefits of allowing women in Rotary and how they could double their donations, double their service. They said, that's really a nice argument, but we're not going to do it. But you know what? They do now. So, hey, after all. What about religious differences that potential members or even our existing members might have? Lots of years ago, almost every club that I knew of would recite a prayer at the beginning of the meeting. And I mean a Christian prayer. And when I was president of Newport's Club in 92, 93, we did the Christian prayer every year. Or every month or week. And we had 3 Jewish people in our club. And one of them came up to me and said, we're not really comfortable with this. And so I knew if I stopped the prayer altogether, I'd have a mass mutiny because 3 people already quit our club because I was a woman president. And so I didn't want to exacerbate that problem. But I asked them not to use in Jesus' name. And that was my way of taking a baby step, but they still didn't like it. One guy still quit after that. But looking through the lens of the 4-way test, what should I have done? I think if I had it to do over again, I'd do the same thing. It had to be grappled with. And now some clubs have talked to me recently about the Pledge of Allegiance. Now we're getting into some more controversial waters because the pledge and the flag is very political these days. And I think that clubs are trying not to be political, but they're trying to be fair to all concerned. And now where do you draw that line and how do you draw that line? Every club is different. It's something for your individual club to think about, talk about, possibly poll the whole board, not just the board, but the membership about what kind of a face do you want to display? Just to sum this up before we break up into groups to talk about some of this stuff, I want to read you 2 emails I got recently. One was from a past district governor in another district that I've met along the way. She says, my non-US citizen spouse joined me on several club visits when I served as district governor. The pledge made us very uncomfortable. My husband does not recite the Pledge of Allegiance because he's not a US citizen, although he recently became one. What made us uncomfortable were the reactions of our fellow Rotarians at the meetings when my husband did not participate in the pledge. Many of them were critical of the fact, and they didn't realize that it's inappropriate for a non-US citizen to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I talked to one club president recently who said, you know, we're grappling with this. We're not making a statement about whether the flag is good or bad, whether the pledge is a good thing to do, but is it right at a Rotary meeting? I guess that's where the prayer thing came up. That's where the hugging thing came up. That's where the pledge thing comes up. Here's another email I just got yesterday. Unfortunately, I can't make the meeting tomorrow, but as PE of our club, I'd really like to have a discussion about the Pledge of Allegiance. Our club still includes this as part of our opening ceremonies, but I'd really like to see it removed or replaced with something that doesn't mention God, as I don't feel that's very inclusive. Although I have brought my concerns to the board in the past, I've had little support for this type of change. It would be wonderful to have a forum discussion about these type of ingrained pieces of our meetings that we may need to reevaluate and how to best approach our boards. And I would add in our membership, because sometimes clubs have made a change after they pulled the membership, because maybe the board all feels the same way. So lots of heavy food for thought. Anybody want to, within the lens of the four-way test, remark on any of that and how your club is struggling or not with any of these issues? I do want to break us into smaller groups so that you do have a chance to talk some smaller groups. Janet, would you unmute and tell us what you're thinking?
This is a conversation that some members in our club are having right now. There's a small group of people that have gotten together to talk about the pledge, because there are some folks that really like the pledge. There are some folks that really don't like the pledge. And then there's a bunch of folks in the middle that are kind of neutral. And as I look forward to my year as president coming up, it's something I've been thinking a lot about, whether we include the pledge or not, and how that's going to impact different members of our club. So I'm really looking forward to hearing more about it.
One thing I would caution us to reframe the way we talk about this, like the pledge, isn't the issue, really, is it? It's like if I say I like the pledge or I don't like the pledge, no, that's not the issue. The issue is we're in a country that has a Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, we have a flag. Okay, is it right at a Rotary meeting? That's the question. But when we say we like it or don't like it, we're just adding fuel to the political fire and to the strong feelings. And what we want to have is rational discussion about what is right at our Rotary meetings. Anybody else want to piggyback, or somebody started to say something?
Well, I was just going to clarify that when I said like the pledge, I meant like it at our meeting.
Yeah, I know. I know it.
And don't like the pledge. They think that it's not appropriate at a Rotary meeting because Rotary is an international group.
Right. And you know what? We have exchange students. And I think we give them some grace because we know they're exchange students, but somebody's visiting our club and seeing this person over here that isn't following the pledge. Do they get that same kind of reception as that past district governor was telling me that she and her husband got? Any other general comments, or should I break us up? Not break us up. There I go being, that's not a way to put it either. Tough discussion, you guys.
Bev has her hand up.
Oh, Bev does. Thank you.
Hi. It's an issue at our club, and it was brought forward very strongly recently, but by a member. And when we found out that other members have thought this all along, whether to have it at Rotary or not have it at Rotary. Some actually have said, but they stood silently, or they sat, or they just didn't zoom in until the pledge was over. So it's been interesting that it's now up for discussion. And so I'm looking forward to it. And I did talk to, we've had several foreign exchange students, and they're very surprised when they come here how we display our flag so prominently on bumper stickers and so forth. So it is interesting. So I've talked to them recently about it, and one just said, it's weird. It's just weird. But you know, she understands that. She said, you know, she's from Germany, and she said it's just different and strange to her. But it's a good discussion. So I thank you for having the discussion.
Yeah, I'll throw in that my club isn't even talking about it. So this isn't something that I'm just introducing the topic because it's come to me as a district membership chair from other clubs. And I thought, you know, we really ought to at least think about it as we move towards the future. Maybe we're not ready to move yet as individual clubs. That's your decision. Mike, do you have your hand up? Your virtual hand up.
Yeah, I have a couple of points, I guess, as I look at this. You know, I hear the verbiage, well, we're going to have exchange students, but exchange students are here to experience our culture. And part of our culture is the Pledge of Allegiance. And they don't have to participate. So I see this as an educational point as well, that if those other people knew, our membership knows that there will be people in the room who don't participate in it because, number one, they're not from our country. They don't, you know, it's not their responsibility or place to say the Pledge of Allegiance because they're not pledging to our country. And yet, you know, I'm in a club that's, you know, of an older membership, and that discussion would be difficult at best, okay, because they're ingrained in that scenario. I mean, they would have the discussion, but they're ingrained in that scenario. So they would much be receptive to an educational item that teaches all of them about why somebody else might be uncomfortable with it, okay, rather than doing away with it because we believe somebody's uncomfortable with it. Okay,
That's
so
that's an interesting point, is just having it as an educational piece somewhere along the line.
right.
As,
You
know,
understand where I'm coming from is that it may be more appropriate if we're in America, the United States, and our culture is to have it, then we need to educate about our culture. Okay. I'd like to back up for a comment here on diversity. And, you know, I'm concerned that we're going out to say, you know, we recruit people because of, you know, they're different and diverse. I really think we ought to be recruiting Rotarians for their ability to be a Rotarian. It doesn't matter whether they're different in any shape, say, size or form, okay, is that recruit them because they can be a Rotarian and, you know, have those four-way test skills, abilities, knowledge, and whatever. And you know, this year I've recruited a couple of new members, and some of those members are in those categories, but I didn't recruit them because of that.
No.
I recruited them because they'll make good Rotarians.
That's valid point, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Bruce Allen has his hand up, and then Jerry does.
Okay. Mike, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in about 4 or 5 years since I was an AG before, and it's good to hear you speak, buddy. I always forget the wisdom that you imply upon our group. First of all, as an AG, I've had the privilege of being involved in not only 4 or 5 clubs in Lynn County, but as also 4 or 5 clubs in Corvallis. And my concern is the fact that each club is inherently different. We have many, many clubs, and they are different for many, many reasons. And I actually enjoy those differences. Where I'm heading with this is sometimes in our concern not to upset or drive away membership, we lose our ability as an identity of a club to try to be all inclusive of everyone. And I don't know if you can create an environment where you're going to be all inclusive of everyone. Some clubs are huggers, some aren't. Some clubs sing, some clubs don't. Some clubs wear name tags, and some clubs don't. Some clubs start the meeting with the four-way tests, and every one of those, and my concern has always been, if there are some issues as the Pledge of Allegiance, I have seen in our club many times where maybe there are those that have a concern with it. And if they don't wish to participate in it, I understand that. And I have no judgment against them. It's their complete and utter wish. I agree with Mike. I don't think we should have to include or exclude anybody based on race, sexual preference, or religion, or any of that matter. I think it's just a matter of if they want to belong in some sort of service above self entity. But regardless of that, I do feel that there are times where if there is somebody that comes to leadership in a club with an issue, if it is something where you're going to upset 90 people because one person wants to change the world, or at least the club, maybe we need to look at, maybe there's a different club they might be happier in. There are some clubs that enjoy meeting after work. Some clubs enjoy that noon club, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just maybe different clubs fit different people. And I don't know if that's exclusive, and these are thoughts, not necessarily, I'm very open to discussion on that. But my concern is the fact that we have had in the greater Albany numerous incidences of everything, whether it has to do with the mention of God, whether it has to do with our our Pledge of Allegiance, as well as many other issues. And we navigate those in a lot of our club, even without, I wasn't inclusive in some of those, and I was inclusive in a lot of those, but we have navigated those over the years. Is it a membership issue? It could be. We may have lost members, but we may have gained members. But my concern is in our goal to try to raise so much membership, are we creating our own issues and stumbling over ourselves? In some words, I think this takes a very deep look, and maybe this is exactly the place to do that. But I do feel that there are times where there are people based on their personalities that may be, currently I'm in Benton County, there are afternoon clubs and there are morning clubs and there are weekend clubs and maybe the person's schedule or maybe the traditions of that club, that a member would be better in those clubs than other clubs. And I don't know, I'm very worried about bringing that up because those are my concerns or those are my thoughts. And I just, is that something we can think of? I just thought I'd bring that up for concerns.
Yeah, well, there are three comments I have, and then I'm going to move to Jerry.
I was going to say, I sure as heck hope Jerry has an answer for every one of those.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
But each club has to grapple with this in their individual personality, the way they want. It may, if it's not a problem, if leaders don't, perceive it as a problem, that's fine. The question of having one member versus 90 feel a certain way, that's real easy to take a club poll. And then the other thing that Mike mentioned is educating people. Here's what we do. Here's why we do it. Yeah, America's a little weird. We all pledge allegiance. I mean, we're about the only country in the world that, is so exuberant about that. And there's probably a lot of good reasons. My father fought in the Second World War, and he would probably go on and on about it and roll over in his grave if he didn't think that the Pledge of Allegiance was going to be everywhere. But, and it's not just Rotary that's grappling with this. School boards are, chambers are, it's it's something as we move into the future, and I'm looking right now at 16 leaders that we need to think about and talk about, maybe not act on yet, but just be aware of it. And so that we can be nimble and lead our club when that time may come. Jerry. Now unmute yourself. I know you're saying something really good.
Just,
Yeah, I was gonna say Bruce was spot on. You know, all clubs are different. And, you know, and when I was honored to be your district governor last year, visiting clubs, it's really a gratifying experience to see all the service-minded people that build membership, you know, give to the foundation, contribute to fight polio. I mean, and do service in their communities. So anyway, with respect to these questions, I hit a few clubs that were grappling with this last year as well. And I really landed on it. Well, what does your bylaws say? There's a bylaws for Rotary International template. It has nothing to do with the Pledge of Allegiance or saying the four-way test out loud. I ran into one member that really was opposed to that. He said, this is like chanting. It gives a cult-like feel to the club when we chant the four-way test before each meeting. And I said, bring that to your club president. Now, the beauty of leadership in Rotary is each year we change club presidents, and club presidents have their prerogative to push any kind of idea or any kind of change that they want and see if it sticks. You know, throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. Just by way of an example, Greater Corvallis and the clubs in Corvallis and even probably Benton County did have a history of starting their meetings off with an invocation. Through discussion and a process and member surveys, that changed. And now we do inspirations, an inspirational moment at the beginning. It kind of, you know, it allowed people, even those that follow the Christian faith, to get up there and express in a inspirational moment that attaches to their faith, but it doesn't give the feel that we're a Christian organization at that moment by doing a prayer at each meeting. So again, I would say the club president is the leader, the board is the, you know, is the affirmation of each club in terms of change. And if any kind of change is going to come about, we talk, you know, they could talk about it. Is this in our bylaws? Then if it's not in our bylaws, there's no mandatory issue here. There may be other ways to express in our patriotism other than doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Having the flag there, honoring a veteran at a meeting could be a way that we express our patriotism. So each veteran might, you know, stand up and talk about you know, their experience. There's a number of different ways. We're very creative, imaginative people. We're Rotarians. And that is really in our DNA. So we can go forward, not have arguments and kick people out. By the way, I want to mention this. There are 30 districts in the Big West here, zones 26 and 27. And there's a club down in San Diego, outside of San Diego, that still does not accept women. I was blown away by this. The district governor that I worked with, his name is Dan. I said, Dan, how does this happen? He said, they're a rural farming community, and that's just the way they continue to exist. I just think that they're going to, gradually shrink unless they get with the terms or be faced with legal challenges by a woman that would come and want to be a member of the club because want to do service to the community. But anyway, clubs, yeah, you're going to find clubs all over the United States are going to have their own unique footprint and whatever. Anyway, that's an aside.
Fascinating.
It's totally opposed. I'm totally opposed to any club that has that kind of perspective.
No kidding. Well, it's funny because that shows you or us, Jerry, how we are evolving as an organization and as individual clubs. We're evolving. evolution's not for wussies, just like I've always said, leadership's not for wussies. These are things that we have to grapple with as we lead an organization and as we think about what's the right thing to do under the lens of the four-way test. Now, I just saw that somebody said something in the chat and I didn't read, it was Jim. Would you tell us what you just said? Because I didn't read it fast enough.
Well, as we move forward, and this was, I will admit, at the DGE training at the International Assembly, DEI was a major topic in several of our sessions. Jerry brought up the fact of a club down in San Diego that is male only. Vast majority of districts around the world have single sex or vocational or even single race membership now. And Rotary's viewpoint is it good for Rotary? It's up to each individual club whether they fit or not, because the United States has the Supreme Court ruling as far as discrimination on membership, but a lot of other nations don't. So the push here is, does your club reflect your community, both in membership diversity, religious diversity, all that? And if it doesn't, have you addressed why you maintain the status you have? If you're a cause-based or a focus-based group, maybe that membership is appropriate within your community. So it's a question we have to ask. One of the things that was discussed, Pledge of Allegiance, that's an issue. So if your club does the Pledge of Allegiance, when the president rings the bell and asks everyone to please stand, maybe the statement of, please join us as you feel appropriate on the following top issues or actions. Whether it's an inspiration or invocation, whether it's the pledge, whether you don't want to sing or not, just remain standing and enjoy the show that's going on around you. That's basically what I was trying to say.
No, that's good. And it's good to have a perspective of, sometimes as club leaders, we just look at our own club and think that, and that's why I wanted to bring it up with all of you. It's just to get us thinking about it. We're not in a vacuum. We have resources within each other that we can call and say, now, how are you guys doing this? Or what are you doing? But let's break up into 4 breakout rooms for about 10 minutes. I will ask you to make sure that every one of you, there'll be 4 or so in each breakout. Make sure that everybody gets a chance to talk, okay? And then maybe ask one person to give us a 1-minute rundown of what you covered or what the predominant thinking was, if there was any. Okay, I'll see you in a second. Can you get to your breakout room, Harry? There you go. Welcome back. I have to probably interrupt everybody right in the middle of a sentence because we only have 5 minutes. The time goes by so fast.
I vote for Michael as our reporter.
Well, quickly then.
Well, wait a minute. We're not ready yet. We only have 5 of us here.
No, well,
We're back in the main room. Everybody's coming back. Okay, now we've got the main.
Holy
one
moly, I've
thing
never
I
done that
heard
before, Chris.
Really?
Yeah, I've never
It's good
done
for you.
broken into, yeah, that's a whole new, I don't know, I don't know. if
Yeah,
I'm
just
ready for
kind of
that.
like chatting around the table. Yeah.
Right.
I called this a sense of belonging instead of calling this discussion DEI. Because every time you mention DEI out in the world to your neighbors, whatever, assuming they know what diversity, equity, and inclusion is, it sounds political. I don't mean for our discussion to be political. It's a sense of belonging. We want to create that for our membership and potential members, however that is in our club. Now I'd like to have, though, we have 45 seconds each for the 4 breakout rooms to summarize. Who will start?
I'll start, Christine.
Thank you.
I guess as I look at this overall and the discussion is that we did discuss, in a sense, diversity, but I think also part of the discussion came back to, in doing this, a lot of this is minority pushing the majority to go somewhere else. And we really have to look at what the majority really wants to have and work that around so that we're inclusive with that the minorities are included in the majority.
Thank you. Next, who else will step up?
I have a
I'm using-
quickie from our group.
Go ahead, Jill.
Okay.
So what I came away from our group was that acceptance equals strength. Rotary is very diverse around the world. There's something for everyone. And we grow by acceptance and showing tolerance and belonging.
Thank you. That was very well said. And Jerry, I hope you noticed that I said step up.
Step up to the plate.
Yeah, step up to the plate. Okay, who's next? We got 2 more groups.
I'll be quick.
Thank you.
Bruce mentioned that the more projects you do, and the things that you do together will make you have better connections, which is probably the truth. He is going to be thinking about joining 2 clubs in his area that are totally different. So that's an experiment in itself. So that'll be fun to watch. And age didn't seem to matter. It brought up the question of whether age was a thing of why people want something or not want something. And age didn't seem to be a problem or the deciding factor. And one of the clubs is going to have a discussion in a couple weeks about just the same thing. So I think we should have another meeting all together. We're going to have I think we're going to be having a arbitrator type mediator person come in and talk about these discussions into our club, because I don't think we can,
from getting
crazy. And so that, but
Yeah.
we didn't come to any conclusions really. I don't
No,
think.
you're not going to come to a conclusion in this 1-hour session, but we only have 1 minute. Which group hasn't talked?
Group 4, and could I ask Jim Polk to be our spokesperson?
Yeah, you got a half a minute.
You
And
can
you gotta
ask, but
unmute.
I don't know if it will work. We talked about a little bit of everything and primarily the impact of what works best for your club without being offensive to others. Is that
That's
fast
a-
enough?
Yeah.
That's a nice way to
Gary?
sum it up. It's 11 o'clock, you guys. I saw Bruce Allen had his hand up. I'm sorry if I didn't get you all in there. like I said, it's really hard to cover something this broad and important in such a short amount of time. But you know what? If you just think about it, have it in the back of your head, that's the purpose of the membership forums. We as leaders need each other as resources. So until next week, bye.
So one closing thought, like for Bev, look, when you have those kind of meetings, look for common ground first before you get into the conflict. Always put the conflict after you find all the common ground that people have, and that'll advance your conversations.
And serve coffee.
And serve coffee and donuts.
We can have the 4-way test right there. Okay, bye, you
All
guys.
right, thanks, Chris. Good job. Nice.
Thank you, Christine.